Hey everybody, long time no see. It's Stephanie with Bookshelf Banter, and today I am reviewing Tiger's Curse. It has been like possibly 2 or 3 months since the last time I reviewed a book, and it's mostly due to the fact that I haven't yet found anything that is wow enough for me to review. And so I think if any book that I've read this past year is worthy or is worth reviewing, it's definitely Tiger's Curse. Crystal has been talking about this book for months, and I remember back when she first reviewed it, I even said, "You've convinced me. I'm going to add it to my my never-ending list." It's this thing that we started, which is, it's a never-ending list of books that you want to read. And so I finally got a copy of it a couple, like maybe a month or two ago, but I wanted to wait until I was able to get my hands on the second book because I just had a feeling that I was going to want to have the second book on hand. Because I don't like waiting in between books. Like that's, I'm starting to realize I don't really like to do that. And so luckily, Crystal had the second book, and Callie had read it, and then Callie sent it to me, and Crystal was nice enough to let me borrow it. Um, and so, yeah, I mean, Tiger's Curse. What can I say about this book? Crystal had, I think she pointed out something that if you like Twilight, you'll like these books, and it's true. There are certain characteristics of this story that are Twilight-esque, but the story isn't about vampires. It's not about a tiny rainy town in Washington State. Um, it's about a tiger and a girl in India, um, which is like it. I don't know. I don't even know what to say about this book except for like it totally sucks you in. And usually when I'm reading a book, especially if I know I'm going to review it, I always take notes. That way I don't forget what happens because of the amount of books I read. It's it's easy to do. Like I'll finish a book and then afterwards I'm like, what did I just read? I don't remember what just happened. So I take notes, and with this one I thought that I would share some of my insights into Tiger's Curse. Because I'm going to include the synopsis above so that you guys can get a general feel for what the book is about. Um, but let me get my, okay. So now keep in mind, these are not criticisms of the book. It is more just an initial reaction to what I just read about. So there's this part at the beginning of the book where Ren is, anyway, okay. Forget I just said that. Where someone is talking to the main character about how they, I can't do this without spoiling it. Okay, I feel like you know that this is going to be a book about a tiger that is a man, boy, person. So let's just put that aside. We know that that happened. And his name is Ren. So Ren is explaining to Kelsey, the main character, that he was, or maybe was it Ren that was explaining this? Anyway, someone was explaining this idea that Ren, when he was in tiger form, was at a zoo once, and he was expected to procreate with the female tigers that were there. And my note, or my reaction that I wrote in my notes was, ugh, imagine being a tiger boy and expected to mate with female tigers. I would refuse to eat too. Because he said that he like stopped eating and then eventually they got rid of him so that he didn't have to worry about making tiger babies. Because that would be really weird. Ew. Um, Okay, so then there's another sort of revelation that happens a little bit. I mean, these are all things that happen early on in the book. There's one where I wrote, "What? He only gets to be human for 24 minutes a day? Who came up with that cockamamie idea?" Because that was completely unexpected. I did not see it coming. And I love stuff like that. Like, there's so much in this book where, I mean, a lot of my notes are exclamations like, "What? What just happened? I don't understand what's going on." Which is awesome because I love how detailed this book is, and there's so much happening that it all gets tied back together. Whereas some books can be a little bit more simple, where you kind of know the direction the story is going, and you can kind of see the course of the story. But with this one, I don't really think that you can. I mean, you can figure out pretty early on that the tiger is a guy, but the other stuff that happens, you don't see it coming. Um, And then this other idea going along with the fact that he can only be a man 24 minutes each day, I was like, well, I wonder if he changed at 11:36 p.m. one day if he could stay human until 12:24 a.m. the next morning, because then he would get 48 minutes of being a guy instead of just 24. So I don't know. That's just how my brain works. And then here's another one that says, poor Mr. Kadam is always alone and basically at the beck and call of these youngsters, which I think when you read it, you might feel the same. Mr. Kadam is this awesome older guy, and he's just a really sweet guy, and he's like a know-it-all, but he's not pretentious. He's just a sweet dude, and I feel like we would probably be BFFs if he were a real person, because I'd be like, share your knowledge with me, Mr. Kadam, because I want to learn. He has a plethora. There's a big word for you. A plethora of knowledge. It's insane. Um, and then I had, oh, the last one I can't really say because I feel like that is too spoilery. Um, but I mean, just to finish this off, overall, Tiger's Curse is a fantastic book. It's um, it's one that I realize I'm setting a record for myself on Bookshelf Banter with, in that I'm giving it 5 books. I went back and I looked on BookshelfBanter.com, and I saw that I have not rated anything of all the reviews I've done this year. None of them I haven't given any of them 5 books. So if that says anything, then there you go. I mean, it's like I'm gonna review Tiger's Quest in a little bit, so you'll get my review on that. But I just wish all 5 books, because I had to bug Crystal about this. I was like, how many books are in the series? I must know. So apparently there are 5, and I wish all 5 of them were out so that I could read them. And they're so good. They're so good. And if going back to the Twilight thing, if you liked Edward in Twilight, you will like Ren. He is not a carbon copy of Edward, but there are similar characteristics as far as gentlemanly nature and just being like a nice guy instead of a jerk, like I've read in some books that I won't mention because I don't want to offend the author. But some YA authors out there, you write books about jerks, about douchebags. Oh, excuse me, I shouldn't have said that, but it's true. So it's nice to read a book about a guy who is nice. He's just an all-around good guy. So yeah. Oh, and also, what was I gonna say? Anyway, it's not a big deal. I think I mentioned that. I'm gonna mention that in my next one. So yeah, you guys, let us know what you think of Tiger's Quest, or I keep getting the names confused. It's Tiger's Curse. Let us know what you think of that, because I know that I have jumped onto the Tiger's Curse bandwagon, and I am eagerly anticipating Tiger's Voyage, which comes out November 1st, I think. Oh my gosh, so excited. Okay, so I'll see you guys in a bit. Bye.